The vision of Sat-7 is see a growing church that is confident in its witness. Yeah. Like I asked these children, I sat with them on the floor. I have the heart for children. I sat with them on the floor and I asked them, if you have one wish, what do you wish for? And they said, we wish to go to school. I'm a Christian, I can show my face, I'm born Christian, but you are not born Christian, and I'm trying to protect you. So the one lady looked at me and she said, Rita, what are you afraid of?
I'm Farah Shammas. Welcome to Hotel Talk. We hope you enjoy listening to this friendly conversation between people connected by real life in hotels. Hi everyone, welcome back to Hotel Talk, and today I have with us a lovely guest who's been many, many times to St. Raphael Resort and has done some huge conferences at St. Raphael Resort and Marina. Sat-7, if those of you don't know this, you should definitely look it up. It is huge in the MENA region, and Rita El-Mounayer is going to tell us a little bit about that. Rita, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
I should say to everyone, Rita is the CEO of Sat-7 in this whole area. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. So Rita, tell us a little bit first about you and then a little bit about Sat-7.
Sure. I'm from Lebanon, born in Lebanon, born in the war zone. I lost my mother when I was 7 years old during the war.
Because of the war?
Well, she was very sick and there were no medical attention those days. And my father was so much into the cause of Lebanon and freeing Lebanon. And so he was involved in the Christian militia in Lebanon. So a lot of times we lived, my sister and I, in a lot of insecurities because of our mother's death and my father going to war, and we don't know if we're going to see him again.
He's coming back. And how old was your sister?
5.
So you're the older one.
I'm the older. I'm the oldest. Of course, my father after that got married again, and I call my stepmom Mom. She's wonderful, and I have 3 half-brothers.
Okay.
The war impacted my life tremendously because I didn't live a proper childhood, living in bunkers, in fear all the time, insecurities, sometimes going to school, sometimes not going to school. And it gave me all these feelings of why and why am I, in a country of war? Why I lost my mom? Why my father is in the Christian militia? Why? But at the age of 15, I had like a personal encounter with God. I am traditionally from the Maronite Church, Catholic Church. And all these whys, I think I put them in front of God. And he spoke to my heart. And I felt like suddenly that maybe my life will not be perfect, but I'm not alone in this journey. And he is there. He knows the pain. He suffered also the pain of rejection from his own people. He suffered, all the challenges of life those days. And he understands me. And my life changed, like those days at the age of 15. And I was determined to make a difference in the lives of children like me, that they didn't live proper childhood. I wanted to do something for them. I was involved in the church with children, teaching them and walking the faith with them. But I wanted
from
to do
such
more.
A young age, from 15 you started,
yeah. Until television started. I mean, satellite television in the region is big. It started in the 80s, when the Gulf launched, like Arabsat, Saudi Arabia, Arabsat, and suddenly satellite was king. Why? Because it provides information and education that is not censored. Terrestrial television is always censored by the government, and you always, tune in and hear what you want to hear, or you hear what you don't want to hear.
What they want you to hear, yeah.
What they want you to hear. And satellite is not censored. And this is how Sat-7 started. It was in 1995 when they, had their business plan. In 1996, it was launched. on a satellite, 2 hours in Arabic for the Middle East and North Africa. It was launched to give people the hope. It was launched to be a support for the church. The vision of Sat-7 is see a growing church that is confident in its witness and doing good for the culture and society. And the mission is to provide the church and the Christian of the Middle East and North Africa that are now minorities, provide them, a way to witness to their faith through informational, educational, and inspirational programs on TV and social media. So why am I linking my childhood of war with Sat-7? Because I started with Sat-7 from the start. In 1996, first broadcast, 31st of May.
I have so many questions already. I'm going to let you finish, but just interject, say why first of all Sat-7? Why 7?
Yeah.
Obviously satellite. And why and how were you involved in that formation of Sat-7 and the launch?
Yeah, well, the founder is a British man that lived all of his life in the Middle East. He lived in Lebanon for 3 years, and then the war started in Lebanon, so he moved with his family to Egypt. And he felt when the satellites, television started in the 80s or 90s, he felt that this is the perfect way to be in people's homes, especially Christians that they won't have the ability to go to churches. We are so blessed in Cyprus and Lebanon, because Lebanon is a Christian country, to be able to go to church and witness our faith. But in places like Iraq, in places like Iran, in places like Turkey, in places like North Africa, people are hiding in a way their faith, especially people who are not born Christians. And this is how Sat-7 started. This man wanted to provide to these people an opportunity to witness to their faith and to strengthen or help the church in its service, helping the society, and helping also like the spiritual walk of people in life. So this is how Sat-7 started. 7 in the Bible is the number of, it's a kind of, how do we call it? It's a holy number, or 7 days God created, and He rested on the 7th. So there are a lot of quotes in the Bible regarding the number 7, and we wanted to use something a bit secular, Sat-7, so people, when they tuned in, they will not be alarmed if they hear said something about Jesus or God or humanity, or they will not be alarmed. So they will just give us the opportunity to talk to their hearts, and they can choose.
And it's catchy, isn't it? Sat-7.
To tune in, or not watching us. So again, why I'm linking my childhood with Sat-7. And I will explain, a little bit about Sat-7, because when I started in Sat-7 on the 31st of May, 1996, I started as a producer and on-screen presenter for children program. This was my heart. I wanted to tell these children that I feel with you, children who are suffering in Syria, in, places in Palestine, in the Holy Lands, children who are in Iraq, children, especially in the context of the Arab world, that they won't have the opportunity maybe to live a proper childhood like me. I wanted to tell them I've been there. I know the feeling. And hey, you're not alone. There is somebody who's with you. Maybe it will not solve the problems. Maybe, the problems will not go away, but at least, you're not alone. And this is what I needed when I was a child. I didn't care. I come from a poor family. I didn't care about shoes or clothes or anything else. All I cared is somebody to tap me on the shoulder and tell me, hey, Rita, everything is going to be okay. And this is how I started in Sat-7 in 1996. Now, Sat-7 is a bouquet of 4 channels. It's 2 in Arabic, 1 24/7 in Arabic for the family. And we have programs for women. We have documentaries. We have films that are dubbed in Arabic or subtitled in Arabic. We have, programs that talks about the, freedom of religion and belief, about women's rights, humans' rights, children's rights. So it's a diversity of many programs on Arabic. And then we have another Arabic channel for children. So 24-hour for children. just covering the 5 time zones in the Arab world, from North Africa to the Gulf. So whenever children coming from school or wake up, they can watch, like children program that have a goal of presenting God's love to these children. The third channel is Sat-7 Pars. It's Iranian. It's in Farsi. That's why Pars.
Okay.
And it covers, Iran and Afghanistan in Farsi languages and in Dari languages for Afghanistan. And the fourth channel is Turkish. Like in Turkey, we have like more than 200,000 Christian people. And sometimes, we hear that the number is declining, but we're there, try to strengthen, like this community of Christians, especially that Christians in the Bible were first called Christian in Turkey. Turkey was the Christian, like a base of Christianity in the old days. Not a lot of people know that, and we try.
I didn't know that. Yeah,
and we try to remind people. It's Antioch. Antioch was the where Christian were called Christian, and we try to remind people that Christianity is not a Western religion. It's not something that we imported from the West, because this is where we are accused a lot of times. Oh, you're Christian, you're Westerner. No, Christianity was born 600 years before Islam, and Christianity was born in the Middle East. We imported Christianity to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And this is the mission and vision of Sat-7, to be there for people, for Sat-7 Turk, through Sat-7 Turk, Sat-7 Part, the Sat-7 Arabic and kids, and try to be a platform, a window for the church to witness to its faith to many people in the region, especially Christians. I know it's a long answer, but I'm passionate.
It's a beautiful
about
answer, and thank you so much. No, I think you encapsulated the aim and mission just amazingly. And did I remember right that Sat-7 reaches how many millions of people?
It's potential reach if they have a satellite, and now we are on social media, and I'll tell you about social media in a minute. 680 million, I think now. It's the
just
population.
Incredible. I remember 500 million.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just amazing.
Yeah. I mean, if you comprise, like Afghanistan and Turkey, and this is the potential viewers that we have, like around 600 or 680 million. Now, every couple of years, we conduct a research, and it is a very independent research that Sat-7 just commissioned a very secular or independent company to do this research to measure how many viewers tune in and watch us. And the last one we have done in 2021. Now we're doing another one, 2024. And we have at least 11 million that admit that they watch Christian television. It's a region that is dominated by...
Yeah, it's true. There might be other people.
religion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There might be people of Islamic faith that watch it and it's interesting, but they're not going to admit that they tuned
they
in.
watch,
yeah.
Like a Christian television.
Yeah.
And when we ask, especially mothers, why, especially mothers who are not Christian, they're coming from a Muslim background, asking why you let your children watch Sat-7 Kids, which it's Christian, they say this is where our children are safe. Because there is no violence, no swearing words, like everything has a goal. It's just to help these children to become the future of tomorrow and changing the Middle East with love and forgiveness. And when the whole war in Syria erupted, we wanted to help these children that they're refugees in places like Turkey, in places like Lebanon. In Lebanon, we have 1 point something, like million.
Goodness, I think more. Refugees. I think it's gone up. Yeah. I mean, it was 1.5. That was 3-4 years ago.
Yeah,
I think it's well over 2 million refugees.
And I went and visited these refugees in the Bekaa Valley in Lebanon.
Did you?
It was interesting because they live in the stand. And I sat with them on the floor. And they had in the corner of their tent a television set hooked to a satellite. And I asked them, you have satellite? Yeah, we carried it all the way from Syria. This is what they carried. Like, why? Because they want to watch the news that is uncensored. And the children, it will keep them off the street when the heat or there is, a lot
Yeah.
of, it's very warm during summer in the Bekaa Valley in Lebanon and very cold during winter. The children can be inside their tent and watching television. And I remember one, like I asked these children, I sat with them on the floor. I have the heart for children. I sat with
Still
them on the
calling.
floor and I asked them, if you have one wish, what do you wish for? And they said, we wish to go to school. And this is where the vision of bringing school to these children started from that time. And in 2014, end of,
You're going to make me cry now.
we started, like a program called My School. And it covers the 5 primary years of a child's, like education, teaching them English, French, Arabic, math, biology, just to let them feel that they are, like connected with other children and like other children living a normal life. Farah, I don't want to.
I know.
I don't want
and
you
you
to
know
be
what?
emotional.
So I have to laugh because when I started this podcast, I said, "Oh, I'm not going to be one of those that sits and cries and for ratings." And actually, this is only the second time I've welled up in a podcast. So
yeah, I mean this one particular.
But it's
child,
emotional. I mean, it is.
This particular child, Farah, came and he said, he said, one second. He ran out of the tent, come back with like a school bag, and he said, I brought it with me all the way from Aleppo, and then he opened it, and he said, but look, it's empty. And this is where we felt that we have to help these children. And the program, My School, it's still running until today. We're repeating it, like every year, because it's not just reaching the children, it's reaching the mother. And some of these mother, lots of these mother, they never went to school. They don't know how to read and write. And we receive letters from them. This is the first time,
I'm writing.
I'm writing. I know how to write my name. I know how to write a letter, for you. So what I'm trying to say as Sat-7 is not just a religious, like channel, just, promoting Christianity. And I hate to say that. It is talking about the love of God that is for everyone. This is first. And trying to support the church in its work in the MENA region. Trying to tell people, if you still have this call to stay in the Middle East and North Africa, this is the MENA, stay. You can be a blessing. You can be salt and light to people around you. And a lot of people, decided to stay. And not just that, we try to be holistic. We try to bring education, information, human rights, voice for the minorities on our screen, especially people in countries like Iran, Turkey, North Africa, where there is a bit of oppression.
Oh yeah, you said a bit. I was going to say quite a lot. I think that's amazing. My dad always says the most important thing about Christianity is that it spreads love. It's all about love and kindness. So bless you. I think anything with children touches so many of us. And because I have children, this in this age range, and I hope my kids will listen to this, because just the other day one said, oh, I don't want to go to school. And we explained, we said, do you know how many children all over the world would beg to go to school? Or we are definitely blessed. That's for sure.
That's true.
Well, as you know, and maybe some of the viewers, I'm also originally Lebanese, and I always say I'm a child of the war because I was born outside of Lebanon, which I was blessed to miss this experience that you and so many others went through, although you've come out stronger. My parents did take me to Lebanon when I was 4 months old to be christened. And then after that, we didn't go. We used to go as and when it was, let's say, calmer or less dangerous. And then it was really the early 90s when the war ended that we started going back. And the rest of the family did move back eventually in 97. But I stuck it out in the UK and then here. And the rest is history. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I ended up here. But how did you end up in Cyprus?
Well,
Because
as I told
you're
you,
based in Larnaca, aren't you? Yeah.
yes.
Mm.
As I told you, like I started with the children program in Sat-7, and it seems that Sat-7 saw a potential in me. So they gave me more responsibilities. So I became the director of children programming in Sat-7. As Sat-7 grew, as I said, it was 2 hours a week. And now we're 4 channel, 24/7. So they
Amazing.
gave me more responsibility to be responsible on all children program. And then they offered me a kind of scholarship to go to England and study and finish my master's degree in communication practice. So I was based in England for 3 years studying, finished my degree. So they invited me now to come to the headquarters in Cyprus, in Nicosia, and be heading the whole Arabic programs, not just children. So I came back and was heading the channel, the Arabic channel. And then after that, they said, "Oh, can you help also with the Farsi and Turkish?" Even though I don't, speak Farsi or Turkish. I said, "Okay." So I headed the 3 channels and then launched the 4th channel, which is the kids. And after that, they said, "Okay, we would like you to be the deputy of the CEO." I think they were just,
Yeah.
preparing me. And in 2019, I became the CEO.
Oh, huge congratulations. You
Thank you.
definitely deserve it.
It's been 5 years.
It's
This is
amazing, huh? I know, but because also it's COVID time, so like
yeah,
two of them
true.
are kind of morphed into. That's so beautiful. So, okay, we've spoken a little bit about Christianity in the MENA regions and its struggles. Um, I mean, you've definitely seen so much and heard so many stories. Maybe you could share some real stories with us, stories of hope, of love.
I would love that.
Yeah,
I would love
yeah.
that. In 2013, I got a call from a person in Algeria, in North Africa. And they said, "We all came to Christ, and we are from Amazighi Muslim tradition, but more Amazighi Berber. It's like a tribal thing." And his wife, became Christian just watching Jesus film, the suffering of Jesus and on the cross and everything else. And he said, "You always carry church services from Lebanon and Egypt. Why don't you carry our church services?" And I said, "Like you have a church there?" They said, "Yes." So I said, "Okay, I will come and visit." So I went to Algeria, and it was amazing. They're all from non-Christian background coming to Christ because of a dream, because of, like reading the Bible, because of a TV program. And the church was packed. I never saw a church. I mean, it was small, but it was packed. And I tried to explain to them, "Okay, I will carry your church service, but your faces will be shown on camera, and millions of people in the region will know who you are. And I'm not sure if it's dangerous or not dangerous for you. I'm a Christian. I can show my face. I'm born Christian, but you are not born Christian. And I'm trying to protect you." So the one lady looked at me and she said, "Rita, what are you afraid of?" And I said, "Well, I'm afraid for your sake." And she said, "If you mean persecution, persecution is a crown we wear on our heads every single day. Please don't take it away from us." And I was shocked because I don't think I can say something like this. They love Christ, and they know that, like that there is a price to pay, and they were ready to pay their lives for telling everyone about the love of Christ. 2019, they start, like shutting all these churches in Algeria. And I called them, "How are you doing?" And they said, "Don't worry, Rita. They can close the building, the churches, but they can never close our hearts loving Jesus Christ." And until today, we are broadcasting church services from Algeria. We never stopped.
Wow.
This is Arabic. I have another one that just to tell you about the impact of these programs on people's lives. There is a lady in Iran, Tehran. She wrote to us and she said, "I became a Christian because of your programs, but I don't know where to go. We don't have a church around. Even if there is a church around, like people are afraid to have maybe a person who is a convert. So you became my church at home. So when you pray on the screen, I pray with you. When you worship on the screen, I worship with you. But I really hope one day that I will see you and pray with you together as a church in person. And that day, when I meet you Sat-7, I will bow down and wash your feet and tell you thank you for what you're doing to isolate the Christians like me in a country like Iran. These are the people that we serve. And of course, the beauty in this whole thing, and maybe I'm promoting Sat-7 now, the beauty in all this thing is our executive and international council executive board comprises of Orthodox, Catholic, Protestant, and people who live in the region. They know what it takes to be a Christian, and working together, forgetting about our differences as Orthodox, Protestant, and Lutheran, and Catholic, and Maronite, and just trying to witness to the people the love that is above all love, which is love to us.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Well, I had another question here, but I think you've just summed that up in your answers to the previous. How can Sat-7 support communities and individuals? And I think you have really shown that in how.
And we have a team, Farah. We have a team. We're not just on social media. As I told you, we're now on social media now. We have an app called Sat-7 Plus, Android or iOS. You download it for free. You can watch streaming our channels or video on demand. You can binge watching like Netflix.
Yeah,
it's called like Sat-7 Plus. But also we have a follow-up team. We have a follow-up team, people who answer the questions of viewers if they have questions, assist them, especially with the trauma healing, post-trauma syndrome with, what's happening in the region. And at the end, trying to connect them with the local church.
And when are you going to have something in English?
Oh, we're focusing, I think, to the main languages of the region, which is Arabic, Turkish, and Farsi.
Yeah, and not French, because there's quite a few French speaking.
French with some of the North Africans, like they mix the French with the Amazighi, and but the main language is Arabic, Turkish, and Farsi.
Interesting. And what do you think? Okay, this is a loaded question now, so forgive me in advance, but what's the most beautiful and important thing that you think we can learn from Christianity?
Forgiveness. I mean, God forgave us even when we were not worthy. And I think what the region, especially in the context of the Middle East and North Africa today, they need to understand the forgiveness of Christ. They need to understand the forgiveness of each other. It's in the Lord's Prayer. Forgive our sins like we forgive those who sin against us. Forgiveness, I think it's a powerful word. And a lot of times it's not easy. It's not easy to love and forgive your enemy, especially also in the context of the Middle East and North Africa. We have lots of enemies. We have, between the Sunni and the Shia, and then you have, like the conflict with Israel and the Hezbollah, and the Christians are in the middle, and like the division of Christianity a lot of times. Forgiveness and getting to know, like the other, see the other like God sees them, I think is very important for us and very important to learn from Jesus Christ himself.
That's beautiful.
On the cross, he said, forgive them.
Forgive them. They know not what they do. And also, I believe, even deeper than that, forgiving yourself. Because so many people harbor resentment first and foremost for themselves. And that's why they can't forgive others, because they see in others what's reflected in themselves that they don't like, and the hatred comes out. So if we can forgive ourselves for our own shortcomings, know we're only human, and then move forward.
So true.
I love that. And I did have a question with that, but you've already covered it so beautifully in how can you promote Christianity without being too pushy. In that it's not just about Christianity, it's about being a good person, it's about education, it's about learning from everything that's out there, and that's what you're promoting. Because I think with anything, not just Christianity, I mean, I can laugh and talk about veganism, which I'm a vegan, and so many vegans are, I hope I'm not in that category, but are very annoying people. They get so enthusiastic, and it's the same thing with any form of extremism. So any religion, people can, they see the light and it's so sweet and they get so excited, but in that they, will go knocking on doors and be criticizing others. And I think that's the main thing, to give that information, put it on a silver platter, and if people want it, it's there. If when they're ready for it, they'll find it.
That's true. I mean, with the programs that we produce and we air, if you want to hear about human rights, you can watch this program. If you want to just worship, another program. Current affairs, we have current affairs, like in the region, you can watch the program. But you want spiritual growth, you can watch this program. So the diversity of the programs we
what's on offer,
is in a way, like a blessing, because it's not just, like, as you said, teaching and hammering Jesus on the heads of people. It is
so that they get put off. And as you said, even the name, it's not,
that's true.
Love Jesus Television. It's, it's Sat-7. There's so many things there. What is your favorite quote?
I have many favorite quotes.
I'm sure.
But this is a quote that speaks to my heart, especially when people ask me, hey, we are alarmed. Christianity is declining in the Middle East. People are leaving, people are leaving their, Christianity. What you're going to do for the Christian? The church is, in decline. This. I always remember what Jesus said. He said, this is the quote, I, Jesus, will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. So why I love this quote? With wars, with frustrations and famines, with disasters and refugees, with burning of churches, like in places like Egypt, with stopping and closing the churches in places like Algeria, with isolated Christians in Iran and some part of Turkey, we know that it's his church. And he said, the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. So I really believe that we're going to be surprised. The Middle East today, you look at it and you feel like, oh, it's a lot of hopelessness. But this is, like our aim, just to give these people the hope of Christ and knowing that the gates of hell shall not prevail against the growing of the church.
Thank you for sharing. Now, I don't know if you know this, but you've listened to our podcast. So we have a bonus question. I don't know what it is. The team at the hotel put these together. So pick anyone that you want.
I hope I can read it. I don't have my glasses.
No, don't worry. Give it back to me. I'll read it to you. Yes, it is small. And it's a nice one. I don't know who wrote this one. Sometimes they write on it, other times not. What's your favorite country to visit?
Wow, this is
it's nice, huh?
What's your favorite country to visit? I love England.
Yeah. Well, where were you studying in England?
I was based in Oxford.
Okay.
But my degree was from University of Wales. And England, I don't know maybe like a lot of people complain about the weather. I don't like the hot weather a lot. I love the weather.
It's fresh. It's so fresh in England, isn't it?
And the Cotswolds, just the old buildings.
Beautiful. The green.
The Shakespeare, the literature, the language, the accent. I just love it.
Yeah.
I always say, if I have the money and I will, want to retire one day, I will go to
the Cotswolds. I know it's coming up so much on my Insta feed lately, the Cotswolds, and it's just so pretty. I've only been there once. One of my best friends lives there. It's just so pretty. It's idyllic. It's like something from a fairy tale.
I love
with the old stone and the cottages and
It's Bourton on the Water is like I visit it almost every year or two. Just go to a small pub, have a glass of wine, enjoy the pub food. I just love it. Have a book, read a book. I love it.
It is nice. Yeah. I think, definitely in my case, my mother's British, and the older I've become, the more I've appreciated,
Really?
the English countryside. And I'm not a massive fan of the weather, but leaving here in the heat and going there for a break is
It's
perfect.
perfect.
Yeah,
It's perfect. Especially
definitely.
July, August in Cyprus
Yeah,
can be
quite
a bit
warm.
challenging. Yeah.
Rita, thank you so much. I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy you told us about the app as well and the streaming. So anybody listening, go check out Sat-7, whatever your domination is. It's an interesting program. Of course, if you speak Arabic.
I would like to add one thing.
Please.
Like San Rafael became now, not because like you're here, became, like a point or a hotel that we always consider when we want to have a conference. Like we're having our conferences in the region. So it's not always in Cyprus. Sometimes we go to Lebanon, sometimes we go to Egypt or other places. But when we think about a conference in Cyprus, we think about San Rafael. Because and we've done like maybe now more 3 or 4 conferences since
Over the years.
2012, and also like some our ministry partners, when they come here, or we recommend the hotel and then we come and visit them. It is the warmth of people, and also you very generous. So this left a great impact, especially on a ministry like Sat-7, that just you see these warm people welcoming us and also being so generous with us, with a lot of services that you have provided, but for free. So thank you very much, Farah.
Oh,
You
it's our
did a
pleasure.
good job.
Well, everyone, that was not rehearsed, I
Yeah.
promise. But thank
It's
you.
from
It's
the
really
heart.
our pleasure. I mean, I remember we were doing Sat-7 groups many, many years ago. And so we've always been close, San Rafael and Sat-7. And it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to help you on your mission. It's a pleasure to watch you grow. And while many Christians might have left the Middle East for various reasons or be leaving, it doesn't necessarily mean they've left their religion.
That's
Everybody comes back, they go home. We saw it in our family. They went back. My dad is still there. And sometimes I say, come on, come over to Cyprus. Or, no, we're fine. Until, my uncle the other day said, until they bomb the airports, I'm here. I'm like, well, you might not be able to leave if they bomb the airport. But
well, my sister still lives there, and my brother, like I have 3 brothers, they're Americans. So they went to America, they lived. My middle brother decided that I don't want to stay in America. He brought his family, and now he lives in Lebanon.
Wow.
And a lot of people think he's crazy.
Crazy.
Like, like America and, the American dream. No, he loves it, and he's staying there.
Amazing. Rita, all the best. Thank you so
Farah.
much for coming on Hotel Talk. I've loved it. And I'm sure our viewers have as well. If you want more information, they are in the show notes. Have a great day, Rita.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to Hotel Talk, and I hope that you're enjoying every single moment of this exciting show. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because it helps us more than you may realize. And if you can like and comment on whatever platform that you've chosen to listen to this podcast, that would be great. If you'd like to stay in touch, do follow me on social media and click on www.santrafael.com. The exact website is in our show notes, and you can join our Seahorse Club where you can get exclusive offers and discounts and learn so much about our wonderful hotel here in Limassol, Cyprus. And also, if you'd like to email our reservations team and just quote Hotel Talk, they will be sure to give you an extra special price when you're booking your next trip with us. So we look forward to seeing you soon. Stay tuned. Listen up more, and feedback is always more than welcome. Thank you.